Microsoft raises the bar with their new Power Automate feature, Copilot. With your everyday words and AI-powered help, you can create and tweak your flows. Microsoft gave me a free private access to Copilot before anyone else, and yes, they allowed me to share it with you. Let me show you how cool Copilot is. To build a new Copilot flow, we can either go to Create or start here on the front page. Then in human words, just describe what we want to have automated. That could be when someone sends me an email mentioning me, post a Teams message, and then I click enter. Then Copilot takes a few seconds and then suggests me a flow. That could be this one here with a trigger saying when a new email mentioning me arrives. That seems right. And then the actions will be get my profile and it will be post a message in a Teams chat. Perfect. Now I can click next. Then we need to set up the connections. And because I already used Power Automate with these connections, I don't have to. Otherwise, you just have to press a button and log in, and then the connection will be set up for you. Very easy. Then you say create flow, and here my flow. We have the canvas over here, and yes, to the right we have the Copilot. And here in everyday words, we can tweak our flow, or we can have Copilot explaining very advanced parts of the flow. Let's try both. First, I want to add an action. I also want to add a to-do. So I'll say create a to-do action before, and let's just say before post message. Then I click enter. Copilot again takes a few seconds, and then it should automatically add the added to-do to our flow. And yes, you can see here that it adds it to before get my profile, and technically it's right because we're adding it before the post message. We can either ask to fix it, or I can simply just move it down here. Then we can fill in parameters. For example, I can click the when a new email mentioning me arrives, fill in parameters. We don't have to. Getting my profile, that is just to get information about me. I will not touch that either. And in the add to do, I'll pick a to-do list. So I'll click here and I'll choose the Copilot to-do list. That is a special one I made for this video. Then I also have a title, and yes, that could be the subject, but let's just say new email and then the subject. Let's also have the body content, that is the body of the incoming email. So I click down here, and here you can see these two blue options. We have the blue lightning and the function. I'll choose the dynamic content, so I take the lightning. Scroll down to the email trigger, that is here, when a new email mentioning me arrives. And here you'll find the body, which will go into the to-dos body. That's it. We also need to configure the teams. So I go in here, I can choose to post as user or flow bot. Let's just pick flow bot. Where do I want to post? I will not post in a chat with a flow bot, so I delete this, click the drop down, and let's pick a channel. I'll go into my company team. I click this drop down again, and my company is named Jensen org. Then I'll find a channel, and let's pick off topic for this. And then let's load in a message. Here I'll just say I created a to-do. So I'll say to-do created colon. And again, in this dynamic content, I'll click here and I'll just have the title of the to-do. That's all I have to do. I can choose to save the flow here, but also let's say explain the flow to me. And we will ask Copilot to recap what's actually going on here. Right now, it's quite easy to understand, but imagine a much more advanced flow, and maybe your colleague created that. Copilot can explain that to you. Now we are ready. We can save the flow, and then we can test it. So I prepared an email which we can test that we both add a to-do and that we post the message in the correct channel. So if I click test here, manually test, we don't have to, but now we can see that Power Automate starts listening. Then I go to my email. Here I created a simple email. I'm just emailing myself with the subject holiday request. I'm mentioning myself. I say, hey, Anders Jensen, can I take 4 weeks of holidays starting tomorrow, and then my signature. And by the way, if you don't want me to take 4 weeks of holidays, hint, hint, that means no videos in a month, please like this video. That will help me a lot. Thank you. Let's send this email. So I will click send. And now I will fast forward till the trigger has performed, and fast forward to now my flow ran successfully. Let's inspect my to-do. We can see here that a new email holiday request is added as a to-do. And similar, if I go to Teams, we can see here to-do created, new email holiday request. There's another massive news from Microsoft, and that is the work queues. I created a complete guide to that. You'll find it right here. You should also network and get help from more than 7,000 automation developers. Join the I Love Automation Discord. Your guide and free invitation is right here.